Hello guys, welcome back to another reaction video here on Our Eyes Your Eyes. I'm ready to watch episode 2 of Steins Gate 0. But before starting this video, I just want to remind you to subscribe to the channel, click on the notification bell, leave a like to support me and join me in this great adventure. Okay, in the previous episode we saw that Kyoma discovered that these notes of Chris were used in order to start this Amadeus project. Let's see what Kyoma decides to do right now. Are you ready to join me with this? Check it out. Now I'm curious to see the example. Let's see what kind of memories. Now Kyoma is going to rebel. No, don't underestimate it because of the age. Oh! Yeah. Good job, Kyoma. You said it out loud from your heart. But how could he understand if he speaks English? It's always her. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Let's see what Kyoma decides to do. Because Suzuha is still waiting. What?
Oh, Einstein. So, Amadeus, what did you think? Yeah, sorry.
What the F? Yeah, as I told you, Maho will be essential in this part of the story. Ah, okay. No, it was good that you interrupted. Yeah. Tell her that you know, Chris. So, yeah, because he knows her. No, he was meeting her directly. Who was that colleague? Ah, it's Chris, right? Uh, no, it's not a coincidence. More than a friend. Hey, it was an interesting way to argue. Huh? Exactly. Yeah. It's important to recognize mistakes. That's nothing bad. I think she suffered for Chris' loss too. We needed to discover more about Maho. Eh, maybe she was admiring her a lot. Oh, come on, Kyoma. Again. No. Yeah. And more than acquaintances. Yes. Yes, Kyoma. Yes. It was because of that. Who's that? Oh my. Let's see who that person is. Oh. Oh, okay. So who is the other researcher? No, no, no. Who's that? Okay. Of course she will respond to you. Let's try. What the F? Anyway, Kyoma, you should try. You should try. I know it could be painful for you, but he decided to do that, right? Yes, they were lovers. Oh my, I think for Kyoma it would be a trauma, a shock. Oh no, F way. But for him it would be as if she's still alive. That's the painful part. Here we go. Salieri, in Italian. It's hard to decide. I think it's pretty normal, Kyoma. Oh no, I'm not ready. Oh my! But it's not real, Kyoma. No. Yeah. Even worse. No. I think she was asking if that's her boyfriend. Oh my, where do we start from? Because it's something you don't know, but he knows. Yeah. Maybe. Look, I was thinking something like this before. I mean, I was thinking that maybe it's because of the difference of dimension. If we go back in the other world line, maybe the answer would have been different. No, nothing, nothing. It was a way to be confident. I mean, to install. It was a way to create a bond with her. Like a Chris had to return to America at that time. I mean, it's like as if she's still alive, but she's not alive, and that's a mere illusion. Yeah. Oh, can you imagine? Oh my god, this is an illusion. Yeah, definitely. Chris, we miss you. Oh. Also because Suzuchan is still waiting for an answer from him. But the attitude is the same. Yeah. Yeah. She has the same attitude. My. Wow, guys, since the previous episode, I imagined somehow that this was about to happen. That means that somehow Kyoma was able to get in touch with Chris once again, or at least he would have chosen to reply to Suzucha in the same way he did in episode 23. But right now, we are in episode 23 beta after that episode, so we needed to find another way to communicate with Chris once again, and that's why when these scientists, when Maho decided to let him join this Amadeus project, I was like, okay, that's another way to communicate with Chris, even if that's not Chris, it's a fake one. I mean, it's an AI based on her voice, her attitude, and some memories collected in these data that we still have to dig a little bit. We still have to understand what kind of memories are these. Are these memories related to gestures, attitude, faces, I mean facial expressions, and that's it? Or is this referring even to something that can connect alpha and beta? Look, while Kyoma was explaining, I mean, he was asking himself about this thing regarding alpha and beta, I previously thought about this, but in these first episodes I wanted to focus a little bit because I needed to understand what's going on. But sincerely, in my mind, it was jumping this idea in which maybe Chris, the AI Chris, is responding like this because we are in this world line. What if we go back to Alpha, for example? What if we go back to the other world line and we could see maybe Chris interacting with him in a different way, giving him other sort of answers and stuff like that. So we needed to remember that right now we are in the world line where Mayuri is still alive and Chris is dead. And of course, Kyoma refuses to go back in time to try to save her by changing not the past, but by deceiving the past, as much as it was said in episode 23. So we needed to remember that Chris in this reality, in this world line, would have had these sort of answers, these sort of explanations. But if we were in the other world line, probably Chris would have answered in the same way she would have done with the previous season. There are some differences, but especially at the end of the episode, you see that Kyoma is seeing through gestures, through the attitude she has, through the facial expression she usually had, that there is the similarity with the Chris he knows. And I think that that's really important because somehow some fragments of this part of Chris that are in this world line are reflecting anyway the Chris we know. So as much as she was saying to Kyoma before separating because he was going back to this world line, even at that time Chris was saying don't worry because even if I'm dead in that world line, that doesn't mean that I'm over because there are other world lines created and I can be still alive in one of those others. So as if some fragments of Chris anyway are still part of this world line, no matter if she's an AI or not, because these are collected memories. So we can't erase Chris entirely in this world line. No, there are still some things that are part of herself that are still in this world line too. Talking about Kyoma, I feel so sorry for him because even if he didn't want to talk about Chris anymore, even if he went to a therapist in order to recover his mental health and whatsoever, we understand that Kyoma can't run away from all this, and it seems as if his fate is to meet Chris anyway, no matter what, no matter the way in which he is going to meet her. And that's what I'm saying. I mean, even in the previous commentary I was telling you, look, he has to face reality, he has to understand that even if he's trying to erase Chris from his mind, he can't. And it's just a way to escape from feelings, to escape from the fact that he's feeling pain because he decided not to rescue her somehow. So he has to face this trauma that he has, and the most important thing is to fake that he's still talking to her, because the more you face the problem, the more you can recover from it. If you just skip it, if you just erase it, I don't think that that's the proper solution. So even if I understand that for him is pretty painful, because this reminds him those 3 weeks that were super essential for him, for his life, for his own being, to get in touch with Chris, to love her, etc., etc. But I think that that's a necessary step to take in order for Kyoma to go ahead. If he stays, if he decides to stay in this world line without deceiving reality as it is, as much as he did in episode 23. I understand that for him it's pretty hard to do something like this, because even if he is crying a lot, as if he is talking to her, because he still thinks that there are some fragments of her no matter what. Anyway, this is a mere illusion, because no matter the memories collected, Chris is gone in this world line. So I hope that he's not going to be stuck into this illusion, because it would be even more painful than what he is right now. Another thing I noticed is that at the end of the episode, Mayuri was looking at him as if she knows what's going on, or as if she knows that somehow Kyoma feels so sad because Chris couldn't be rescued. I mean, does she feel guilty because of this decision Kyoma made? Does she feel as if it would have been better for Chris to be alive and for her to be gone? I mean, this attitude Mayuri is having throughout the previous episodes in Steins Gate, but even right now, makes me understand as if, Mayuri feels really guilty. And this reminds me even the beginning of the previous episode, in which you see Mayuri crying, and we are in 2036, and of course she's having this little girl that I think that it's Chris and Kyoma's daughter, and maybe she feels guilty because she was the only one saved here, while Kyoma and Chris actually should have been dead. So I think that Mayuri right now is following the path in which she's feeling guilty, or she's regretting the thing that she's still alive. I don't know. Especially because she's seeing how much Kyoma is suffering from all this stuff. And she knows the fact that by going even to a therapist and by being cured somehow, it's a long process, but it's all because of her existence. So let's see. I'm really curious to see if Kyoma wants to go ahead with this project. Probably, by the love he's feeling for Chris, definitely he will go on with this. But at the same time, I wonder if he's going to reply to Suzu-chan that he wants to go back in time and try to deceive reality as much as he did in episode 23, or if he wants to go on living in this dimension where Chris is gone and there's nothing else to do. Let's see what's going to happen. And last but not least, I think Maho, she will be an essential character of this part of the season, because we know that she got in touch with Chris before, that they were friends, or at least they were teammates, and they were spending time together, but she was crying hard, so it means that this friendship was pretty important for her. Or maybe she thought that Chris was special because Chris was the only one who was helping her, who was giving the proper attention to her, or the fact that this height that was always left by others because she's so short and whatsoever. In the case of Chris, she was not laughing at her, and she was just helping her in the case that she needed. As you can see, maybe Maho could see Chris in a different way, as much as Chris could see Maho in a different way, rather than all the other people surrounding her. So I think by losing Chris, lost even the one and only person maybe who would have understood her more than others, and that's why she's feeling pain. But that's why Kyoma and Maho, they can have a relationship somehow, because they can try to remember Chris as much as they can, and Maho wants to know this different side of the personality of Chris that she would never be able to understand, because of course there was another world line. But Kyoma knows that, because he was the only one who was able to pass from one world line to the other one. So I think Maho has the chance, by getting in touch with Kyoma, to see a different Chris, and that's really interesting. And by loving Chris as a friend, Maho can't wait to discover this side of her. Anyway, let's see what's going to happen with this Amadeus project. In the meantime, feel free to subscribe to the channel, and see you with episode 3 of Steins Gate 0. Thank you so much for the support. Bye guys, see you in the next video.